I believe we're live.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's see. Oh yeah, no, this is weird. Hang on one second. I believe we're live. Fools. Okay. Okay.
Is your screen glitching? Because mine is.
Every once in a while,
Okay.
but not horribly, but you know.
All right, let's rock and roll.
Okay, we're gonna just start. It's Sue Greenwald here with Awakened Stories. I'm here today with King Smarty, also known as Sananda Galactic. Hey King, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. Busy day, very exciting stuff happening, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say today.
Oh, we got a lot to say, a lot to do, a lot to say. There's been a lot of talks about the final green light being pushed for the GCR redemption, blah 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 blah, which is cool, which is good, which is what we want. That's happening as we speak. It's going to continue to happen until it's actually in your accounts. So look forward to that. As you can see, the dark side are revealing themselves, and there's no way around it. Remember years ago, I told you guys they were going to show themselves accidentally on purpose. That's what you're witnessing. Not only that, the two different sides, the two different factions are also being exposed for what they are and how they all want to remain in power, which is cool. However, the only one that has the final say of everything is Dad. And the last time I checked, I'm the one that's going to remain in power forever. That being said, we're going to drop it like it's hot everywhere. The technological booms are happening as we speak. People are trying to get ahead of the curve. You can't beat your creator. You're never going to be able to beat your creator. It's not happening. Dad allowed a lot of you guys to even be invented, if you understand what that means. All of the puppets that you all reptilians put in place are malfunctioning as we speak, and you can see it now everywhere. The different forces that have been plaguing humanity are they're taking a beating left and right. The money systems that were put in place are no longer in place, and we're doing it, and we're doing a changeover in a way where it doesn't really affect anything. Maybe a blackout here or there, a glitch in the computer screen, or whatever the case is, and then off to the races with the new financial system, the real-time financial system. That way, we can move forward without worrying about people stealing our funds or without worry about the bank refunding us. It's going to be seamless. The last time I checked, Dad wants everybody that he designed for this purpose to not have to worry about funding while they're doing his work. That's what's happening right now as we speak. Okay, so prepare yourselves. I know you guys have been prepared and remain prepared. Just stay that way, because when it's go time, I don't want to hear things like, well, let me fix my hair.
No, I think we're going to be running out the door.
Yeah. As far as that's happening, full disclosure is happening across the board. I did tell you guys that some of the paleos, which means pale white people, were manufactured. The evidence of that is becoming widely known now. A lot of the hidden civilizations are now coming forward to the front line. I told you guys that would happen too. This is a what I call a "I told you so" video.
Oh.
Okay, because I told you all these things that y'all witnessing is happening. I told you guys there was two Trumps. One was the dark ones were saying that they were with Israel and all this other shit, and then you got the new one. I mean, not the new one, but then you got the good one coming out saying, no, we're cutting them off. That's all happening. That's all happening by design, and you know who the designer is. I don't even know why I'm pointing up because Dad's everywhere, right?
We all do that.
Right. So all of that is happening. As you all know, I did go to Puerto Rico. I did do the Help Someone Today campaigns while we were there. I did go to touch the water where my mother had received the light in her belly, or I received the light in the consciousness of Sanam the Galactic in the belly while I was there. The water was very, very warm. It felt like, it felt comfortable. It felt cool. I seen a lot of things light up while we were there. We also seen a lot of darkness. We saw entities. We saw witches and warlocks. They were all attacking me and shit. So we were lighting them up. Before we got there, I got sick with the fever and all that stuff. So they were trying to stop the whole trip in the first place. Next thing you know, I had a pink eye. The next day, I had 2 pink eyes. So while we were there, we were eliminating all the dark ones in the area, and we created change there. Not everybody knows or understands that where a lot of these dark entities reside are places that are tropical and hot. If you know how pet lizards live, they have to have a heat lamp, they have to have water, they have to have bugs or food and whatnot, and that's why a lot of these areas like Puerto Rico, Haiti are a feeding ground for them, right? That's now that you know because of all the leak information. Hillary Clinton was harvesting children from all of these locations. All of that is being revealed too, by the way. So that being said, we are going to have to end up going to all these locations to eliminate all of these dark entities in those areas. One of the things that we saw, and I wasn't the only one to see it, by the way, as we were sitting on the balcony or the back porch to the place we had, a dark spirit or whatever it was, right? A dark entity just flew by and everybody saw it. And I saw it and I didn't say nothing because I see it all the time. However, they saw it this time. They was like, "Oh shit." And I was like, "Oh, you saw that, huh?" Right? Because I'm used to it. And they saw it, and then I went back and I eliminated it. So stuff like that happens while we were there. All the right people that were supposed to be at those events were there, and we got back Tuesday. So that was that. I mean, we're waiting for the videos and stuff like that to come out so that you guys can see what we did and what was happening. So that's where we're at with that. There's a lot of things happening everywhere, a lot of things, and it's exciting. It's exciting. We all hear the stories about there was supposed to be no more white. No more popes. Dad changed that because that was their storyline. Just like the Bible and everything else is their storyline.
Right. Okay.
Those are all man-made things. Look at your Bible. Your Bible has a copy written on it. Okay? That should tell you enough. God's, Dad's words are not bound by any laws, any man's made laws. So there's a lot of things that are being exposed as we move into our new reality. And there's a lot of, just this morning while we were working on certain things, one of the dark forces told us that it was their last ditch efforts to continue to attack everybody and do this and do that and voice to skull and mess with our computers. And now we have that the guy from Area 50, not Area 51, Antarctica come out and talk about the stuff that he witnessed. So all of it is coming out. There's no way around it. It's all being revealed. It's all being revealed. What the fuck? This cough came out of nowhere. Anyway, it's all being revealed, and those that thought they were in power, those that claim to have their last ditch efforts, are pretty much being eliminated as we speak. The Pope that was put in place is going to his job is to give the money to the people. Release everything. Going back to what I was starting to say about that is that they wanted it to be the last one so that they can play out their little charades, their little bullshit, events, if you would, because they're the ones that created the Bibles and all that. We all know that Israel did a whole lot of shit to deceive people. That being said, the new Pope will be one that will do lots of things. And if he decides to go or play along with the dark side, he will be eliminated too. I don't give a shit. I'm going to say things how they are. Daddy has us protecting them until further notice. The same with the generals and Trump. This morning, Dad was upset with. Actually, he don't get upset. He said that time is running out for them. He wasn't upset about anything. He just said time was running out for them. I've been wanting to eliminate all of them from the beginning, so I don't care. As soon as he lifts the protection, their ass is grass. Their ass is over with. He once told me that he has to protect everybody from me, and it's true, because people are suffering, people are starving, people are lacking, and it's not their fault. It's because of the system that they allowed to create, that they were allowed in place. This wasn't designed by us. This wasn't designed by Dad. However, he let it happen so that now we can see what it is, see what it was, and correct it, fix it for everyone, not just a certain group of individuals. I don't want to control the whole world by myself. I want people to join me so that we can make sure everything everywhere is right. The increase of pedophiles being eliminated is also being exposed or being shown to us. Like the one photo that I posted about the guy in Dubai who violated a 5-year-old, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they said we weren't going to press charges on him, but they fooled everybody, or they made it seem like they were fooling everybody, or whatever the case was. We're not going to press those charges on him. We're going to let him go. He goes outside, they shoot him in the heart. That was the cops that did that. That type of stuff needs to be done everywhere, only because that's how you're going to stop pedophilia once and for all. You touch a child, you're going to die. Period. I'm doing it in a different way. I'm just evaporating people, places, and things. However, something needs to be put in place like that you violate a child, you die. What happens when a dog bites a child?
Yeah.
It gets put to sleep.
Yeah.
The child is scarred for life. That pervert scarred the child for life. That pervert needs to be put to sleep. Period. And there's thousands and millions and billions of people on the planet that agree with what I just said. So that's what's going to happen. That's going to be mandatory worldwide. You're not going to waste tax dollars, right? Taxpayer dollars, however you say that shit. Actually, that system's dead and gone
Going
anyway.
away anyways, yeah.
Right. So we're not going to waste anything no more. You violate children, you're dead. Period. You're not going to sit in some jail and get fed off of all of us because you know you deserve to be fed and all that.
Right.
And your family's going to have to accept it too. Your uncle, your dad, your brother, your son violated a child and got killed for it. Get over it. Should have not did it. So that's what we need to see happen across the board. Y'all know, I've been requesting and enforcing that to the fullest as daddy allows. He's not going to allow it right away. And I mean, not right away, but he's not going to allow everybody because he may want to have some people serve time jail or serve life and stuff like that. My opinion, you need to go. That's my opinion. Because you can't be rehabilitated. I've seen it over and over again. These guys go to jail, get 6 months, come out, do it again. Meanwhile, you want to give ex drug dealers like myself years in jail. And all we wanted to do was make money and stay away from your cabal system. You know what I mean? That's what the whole, hush hush. The guy that was helping me get all of the vendors in Puerto Rico, he has a company called Ytel. And it's called Ytel because it's why snitch on your fellow brothers and sisters for the cabal system to only be put in jail. Okay? So that's what the whole Ytel was about. Stop telling on everybody. Unless you're dark, unless you're violating children, then you can go ahead and tell. Right. As a matter of fact, we, as the Spanish culture, the Puerto Rican culture, that's how we are. We don't tell on each other, right? We don't tell on each other. Unless you do shit like this, then we're the first ones to take you out. You violate children, you violate women, you're going to die, period. I've seen it happen all over again. That's our culture. We don't play that shit. Right. So I grew up in that type of culture, that type of mentality. So that's where that's where a lot of my upbringing and the way that I am now, taking care of everybody, because that's what we did. That's what we do. So that being said, we have a lot of things happening across the board. People, places, and things are revealing themselves. Laws are being changed as we speak. The money's already in our accounts. I've been saying that over and over again. The money is already in our accounts. They just need to give you all. They just need to give you all access to it. So, all right, that's enough for me blabbing off the mouth.
No, we're all excited about this. Excited. Like you can feel it. You can feel it happening, and we can, like, by your post, we see it's coming out for real. Big time. Waterfall. Yeah.
The best part about it all is that you guys, the Jedis, those of you guys that have been following and learning and listening and reproducing my method, every time I put out a command, when y'all enforce it or when y'all put your energy behind it, don't you see it happening faster and faster?
Totally.
That's because you all are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. That's why.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, look what happened with the protest, the Israel protest. They wanted to give people 20 years in jail or whatever the fuck it was, and we had put that out. I put it out there for y'all to, neutralize, change, blah blah blah. Yeah. The next fucking day, it was over.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's that tell you? The more and more we put our energy to what we want to see happen, the faster it manifests. Right? Don't listen to what people, places, and things are saying. They're coming at me like flies on shit. excuse me, white on rice, because flies don't like that. You know. They got all types of stuff happening. I got people trying to scam me out of products, saying they never got it. I got people talking about some of the products. I got people talking about all types of shit. And recently, they just called D Blue a scam. I just posted that. They just called D Blue a scam.
On lobster, right?
Right, on lobster. Now they have scam alert.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's inside things happening. There's nothing scamming about D Blue. It hasn't even moved. So how is it a scam? You understand? So when I tell you guys they're doing all this stuff against me to get in our way, to create speed bumps, what's really happening is Dad is showing us that they are still people, places, and things that have to be dealt with. The racism is still a thing. Okay. It's bad everywhere. There's a lot of things that people don't see that, if you're not of a certain color, you won't see it. You'll think it's all good, it's all cool. It's not. There's a lot of people that still have racism. And the crazy part is it's not all Caucasians, if you would, or paleo, or whatever you want to call those genetically modified white people. It's also black people that are racist towards white people.
Yeah.
So black people racist towards white people, Spanish people, blah blah blah. I don't know what the fuck is all that about. That has to be some type of a spell or some type of a spirit that has to be cornered and eliminated once and for all. We have to evolve as one, as a group, as a family. That's what's happening. However, we're still experiencing some of the bullshit until we get there. So expect that. I see it happening already. Like I saw all the other shit I told y'all. This is so much fun to see the fruits of our labor, because even though I do a lot of the work by myself. I've taught y'all how to assist, and y'all, all of us should be proud of yourselves, because we're accomplishing something that they thought would never happen. And we're doing it because we love humanity. We love each other. We want to see people succeed. We want to see beautiful things happen. We want healthy food, healthy air, healthy water. If you're not in the same mindset as that, then there's something deeply wrong with you, and you probably need to be electrocuted or something. One of those.
Lobotomy?
Yeah. The MK Ultra shit. We need to reverse that shit and hit you with it. Those type of people. Yo, wake up. Zzz, zap their ass. That's funny. But yeah, a lot of good things happening. We did have an intel call, and they said everything was done, and they're waiting for some type of announcement from Trump, which I don't care. I know things are happening anyway. They just need to pay the people, and move the fuck out the way, or I get to do what I do. Evaporate. Those live evaporations are coming shortly. I keep looking for the first target.
So they have hourglasses by them.
Yes, ma'am. They sure do.
All right. So when if we might not get an announcement, but you will direct us specifically what to do, I'm assuming.
Yep, that's right. What end up happening is one of y'all, like I've been saying, are going to get the information, and then we're going to validate it. We're going to make sure it's clean and safe, and then we'll back it. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things happening that that I know that's happening, and we're working on multiple streams of income for myself so that I can help assist everybody in the things that need to be addressed. You know, there's a lot of us that once we have the finances that we have, we will get to work, and we would do them. We will do it in a way where we don't have to worry about the people around us and our own bills. So that's the type of finances that those of us, the Jedis, and everybody Daddy wants to have, will have. A lot of us are doing things without money, and a lot, including myself, I'm doing things with barely money. Like I did all this stuff for Puerto Rico, spent thousands of dollars, and I'm right back to square one, struggling all over again. I don't like to be in this position. However, I'm in this position because a lot of people aren't doing their fucking jobs and making sure I'm funded, the people around me are funded, and the humanitarian force that we know is ready is funded. So until then, I will continue to eliminate.
Well, having the funding is going to make it easier and, of course, way more fun.
Of course.
Yeah, way more fun. But look we are doing most of what we're doing without a lot of money. Like,
right.
Many of our projects were so when we're funded, what I'm saying is it's going to be much bigger, more in your face. We're going to have a lot more volunteers, more publicity. It's going to like blossom out like crazy. Where now we're just kind of getting the foundation pieces set up.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and it's going up.
There's so much work to do, and some people think as far as people suffering and homeless people and all that stuff, some people think that they deserve to be where they're at, or they should work for what they want, blah blah blah. And the sad reality is that those people were once doing what they were doing, were once working, and the dog eat dog mentality of society that we live in made them where they're at. They just gave up.
Yeah.
And again, it's not the people's fault. It's those rulers, those hidden rulers that designed this way to be the way it is, that designed people to be self-serving and thinking about only their self and their families. And forget about your family, forget about the neighbor. Let's just worry about what we got,
Yeah.
That's the sad reality of the old reality, if you would. We're moving into a reality where that's no longer a thing, because a lot of us are starting to realize that our Father, God, Source, whatever you want to call it, him, her, created this beautiful place where everything is free as far as fruits, vegetables, waters, housing, right? Because you can build a house if you know how to for free. You can have the land for free. And all of a sudden, we now have to pay for the shit.
Yeah.
So what I see happening is all of it being changed, all of those systems, all of those draconian type programs fade away. Everybody living in peace, everybody having their own piece of land. And it could be a condo in a building. It can be anything, whatever you're comfortable with. You just won't have to pay for shit because it will be gifted to you, right? Or you can barter it or whatever the case is. But once you own it until you die, just like China, just like other places around the world. Once you own a piece of property, you can decide to sell it or not. You're not going to have to worry about, if you don't pay taxes, they're going to come take my shit. What? Who does that? So yeah, all of these things are changing. They're changing as we speak. I know takes a lot longer. It's taking a lot longer than it's taking a lot longer than we all wanted, but however, it's happening. And since like I keep saying, we're not going nowhere. We'll be here for a long time making sure this shit gets done.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So it's imminent. So the money is basically there. We just don't have access yet. It's imminent. And we're pushing that forward with our commands and vibration.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Very true. So that's where we're at with it. Continue to reinforce all of the blessings for the people. Do it in a way where you're not stressed out about it, because that energy with you trying to make things manifest won't work. We all know what we want. We all know we're being suppressed, right? So you command the beautiful reality you want to see, and then you get back to work. Do what you got to do to maintain. Don't sit there and be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Let me reinforce this, and then it's not happening. Well, what am I doing wrong? I just told you what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
So you have to set it and forget it. You know that certainty that people talk about me that I have?
Yeah.
Well, Daddy told me to put a rainbow dome over where we were staying in Puerto Rico. Boom, rainbow dome. Next thing you know, I got pictures of it. Right? Daddy told me I was going to get a chef. I go to Walmart, boom, guy's dressed in a chef. I got a chef.
Oh.
So everything Daddy says, I reinforce and I forget about it and I go about my business. Right? That's how it happens with me. I'm not going to sit there and stress about it. Although I do stress about certain things because, like I said, there's things that need to be funded and they're not releasing the funds.
Right.
So don't stress about anything because it lowers your vibration. Move forward and let's get this shit done. It is getting done, so we just keep going.
Excellent.
Right, let's go with some questions.
All right. So you said that the Pope is being protected at this moment. We've already got a scandal out there with him involved in like trafficking and stuff like that. Is any of that stuff true?
Yes. However, people are put in positions to do the changes that are necessary. Just like Trump.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead. Next question.
Okay. So release of Armadas like a couple of days ago. What was their mission?
Their mission was to pick up the lack where everybody's where all the others were lacking at.
Yeah.
Move things forward with the healing across the board, protect everybody that's involved in the actual process of changing into the new reality. And there was something else. I forgot what it was. Oh, and to research and development, because a lot of things are coming in recently that should have never came in. As far as them hitting me with certain type of diseases and fevers and stuff like that out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They just did it with Sophie again. So as soon as I got back, all of a sudden she's sick. So they're doing that type of stuff. They're opening portals in my fucking house and thinking that they're gonna get away with it. So the angels are seeking all of these different devices and techniques that they're using. They're acquiring it, sending it to the research and development team, and then they're taking care of finding out how would they be able to do this with all of the different shields and mechanisms we have up. So it's getting interesting, that's for sure. So
they're using like some unknown technology, we'll say, or something to sneak in and do what they want to do. Yeah,
they've used all types of stuff so far.
Okay.
Yeah, right. But it's at the end of the day, it's cool. Dad knew exactly what it was, when it was supposed to happen, and then we just annihilate. I mean, well, yeah, annihilate, but we investigate, we um, repurpose, and then we use it against them.
Right. Okay.
That's what we've been doing for the longest. So it's not new. I'm just talking about it.
Okay. So we had an increase in consciousness a few days ago, and I think people are feeling the effects of that right now. All right.
That is true.
It feels much stronger than it did, a year or two ago.
That is very true. That is also true.
Yeah.
What's happening is we're doing everything we can to kill off the rest of them, if you would. Just this morning, I was complaining because I complained to Daddy too. Certain things that were supposed to happen didn't happen, and I complained about it. And a lot of it has to do with people's consciousness. If you're in these offices like the Treasury, like the trading platforms, and you're not letting things go because of your own greed or because of this person is not of the same color as you, that type of shit. Something has to be done about that. And the only thing I can think of was raising their consciousness to no longer think that way and push the fucking money through. Okay? Because a lot of people, especially the paleo, right? The white people, they think that they can control this whole thing. And I've been telling y'all this for years, that there's a lot of racism within this wealth transfer. Okay? I've seen it firsthand. And the sad part is that they're good people. They just aren't thinking right. And they need to be removed, or they need to be consciously elevated where they're no longer thinking that way and seeing the bigger picture that this planet belongs to all of us that are inhabiting it, and we need to work together.
Right.
Or I just eliminate you because I don't give a fuck. He can't evaporate people. He's full of shit. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So they're witnessing their associates being evaporated when their times are up.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. In fact, a couple of military personnel just got evaporated because they weren't doing what they were supposed to do. And these guys actually saw evaporations take place. So they got evaporated. How do you see things like this and then continue to do what you're doing?
Yeah.
This, the crazy part about all this shit is that because I'm telling y'all, you're going to see the shit.
Good. Yeah. So all these layoffs, all this money, like where they're finding excess money everywhere. So that's all being captured, and that's going to be trickled out to the people.
Just like I told you guys, we do know that the price of gold went down a couple dollars. And as we were having that discussion here, I've reminded them that Dad said somewhere $75 an ounce for gold because of all the stockpiles being revealed, like I told y'all. The person I was talking to, he doesn't really know some of the stuff that I told y'all for years.
Right.
That being said, stay away from gold. Go get yourself some silver. Or go get yourself some D blue coins because it's more valuable, way more valuable. So,
okay. So speaking of the D blue coins, and we're talking the physical coins, there's different ones: blue, D blue, rainbow, gold, silver, diamond, and onyx, platinum, I think. Okay. Do they have different healing abilities, each one of those? And how do we know what the monetary value will be? Like, is there a way to pick the one we want to invest in?
There's no difference in frequencies other than the daddy blue daddy and the D blue. Those are more energy wise. If you was to put like an energy signature on it, you would see that it has more energy, meaning it does more stuff.
Okay.
The regular coins are the same value. They're on the website. They just say sale. Those coins, all the coins serve a different purposes as we know. The value will stay the same, but they'll be more focused on entertainment, teachers, veterans, everything that we created it for. It's going to be exactly what we created it for.
Okay.
You see how they're calling it a scam. I did tell you guys that we would take over Lobster and Stellar.
Right.
Apple, Wells Fargo, all of them. BlackRock is getting absorbed by this company that this little small company called the Company of Heaven, who really doesn't have nothing in that account. How could this little small company who don't have really nothing in their account take over all this stuff? How is this possible? This is impossible. Why is he even saying this? Who the fuck is he to be talking like this? This is so much fun, ain't it?
So exciting. And you could just see how things are going to change. Just one thing like that will change so much.
Right. Well, I'm gonna just give you an example, right? There's a story that people know about it. They just don't know the details. They don't got the times and dates right. But 19,000 years ago, there was a king that was born, and the day he was born, other kings recognized who he was and brought him gifts. Okay. That being said, the world is getting ready to receive or see the new king, and he will be given gifts. So when Daddy says things will fall into his lap, or should I say my lap,
it's going to be fun.
It is fun.
So you're going to need good people to help you.
I already do.
Yeah.
Daddy's been training all y'all. Y'all all know what it's like to give. Y'all all know what it's like to be treated like shit. Y'all all know what it's like to suffer paying bills. Y'all all know what it's like to we've been trained to move into these new positions that we have, right? And I don't have to say anything no more because you know who you are. Daddy knows who you are. He made you to do what you're doing. That's why we don't have to worry about certain things, because the people that Daddy chose, the people that he chose to do all this will do it for free. Right? Because a lot of us are doing lots of things for free. And it's not that we're doing it for free, it's that we're doing it because Daddy made us to do it. So it's that alone is fucking rewarding.
Yeah.
You can't pay me enough to be on the dark side, is what I'm saying. Right? They can't pay you enough to not fucking do what you're doing. They can't pay some of the Jedis enough to do what they're doing. They're doing this shit for free. And this is what's fucking them all up, because you got a group of individuals that were made to do what they're doing, and they're literally taking out billions of dollars of things, right? When they put these chemtrails in the skies and fuck everything up, they hold on. When they put up these chemtrails in the skies and to mess everything up, and then one single Jedi in wherever area that's happening at, it just waves their hand, neutralize all that shit for free.
Right.
So, when they mess up our food, and you use your method to change the food, or you put it next to a hologram or a pendant because you haven't learned the method yet, it's being neutralized and it's becoming healthier for you for free, because now you know how to do it.
Awesome, awesome. Okay,
Yes, it is.
couple more financial questions and we'll move on. Gasara, will people abroad need to return to their home countries to redeem?
No, that's not necessary. That's not necessary only because they know where you're all at. That used to be something that they talked about back in the day. However, I don't see the point of that. They're even claiming that, the reason why they're taking all these fucking immigrants because they're going to take them to their country and then pay them. That's all bullshit. Don't believe none of that shit. What's going to happen is, no matter where you're at around the world, you will receive your check because they all know where you're at, and wherever you're at, you can be there and help.
Awesome, awesome.
I do know that they've also changed. They've also are changing some of the what do you call it? They are changing some of the hold on, because I'm trying to take care of this young man here. They are trying to they are hold on. Shit, man. People are annoying, especially when they're your kids. Ay, ay, ay. All right, well, they are changing the fact that you have to do all this different type of paperwork just to allow assets and stuff to go in. Lots of things are changing where it's becoming more and more easier to accomplish things nowadays. There's no way for some of these assets to be how you say origins, right? There's no way for you to figure out where some of these assets came from because that's how old they are. For instance, if you dig up a statue out of the dirt and you don't know what civilization it came from, and the dating machines from the dating machines aren't doing the correct dates, you won't know where these assets came from. You'll just know that it's a statue of gold. It's very, very expensive and rare. So this is priceless. Let's not sell it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things changing.
Right, right. Okay. Why was Wells Fargo chosen for you?
Because Dad wants me to have it because the elders own it and the elders know who I am, so they're going to give it to me.
Okay. So I got 3 or 4 questions to that effect. Like people just wanted to know why that bank out of all the banks,
Well, because Dad chose it. That's why.
because I said so.
Yeah, that's what Dad would say.
Okay. How much money will be needed on Earth since we're going to be living a really long time? We've been taught now that we have to save for retirement. We have to save this unknown, huge magic number and blah, 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 just to live till like 70, So how much money is going to be needed? Like, is that going to kind of taper down as time goes on and we barter more? We're not really going to need as much money as we think we do. Do you think?
Well, the truth of the matter, there'll be unlimited money.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, because people are not going to have to worry about money no more. That's how Dad wants it to be. If you have if you have unlimited funds in your account, and if you have unlimited funds in your account and you're very, very generous, and you help everybody everywhere take care of all of their needs, then they won't need nothing else.
Right.
So imagine a few of us, like myself, that have unlimited funds, unlimited resources that are willing to help everybody, no matter how much it is, because um, funds or costs or frequencies, currency, energy means nothing to us because we have plenty of it, right?
Right.
So there'll still be a lot of us that will have accounts that have unlimited everything in it, just in case something needs to be addressed where others can't. Right? It's not going to be for every. It's not going to be everybody with these type of abilities, if you would, or these type of accounts, if you would. It's going to be for the people that are going to do the right thing with it. For instance, you got the military. They're supposed to be in charge. They're supposed to have all this funds, all this money. Do you think somebody's not somebody? Do you think that is going to allow an entity like them who have weapons of mass destruction stay in power for all this time, knowing what their purpose is? They say they're going around the world and defending people. That's not what they've really been doing.
Yeah, I know.
So no, their best bet is to give up the funds and move the fuck out the way. That's all. That's all it is to it.
Bingo.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's going to happen anyway. Go ahead.
What do the other districts on Earth value? Like, do they have money as well, or how do they operate?
Some of them operate similar, but in a lot of them they value human meat.
Oh,
Did you read the
not
book?
districts. You're talking planets, right?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, we're the delicacy, right? Look, you work all day long just to eat. You work all day long just to pay your bills. Make
Right.
sure you eat. Make sure you eat. Make sure you pay your bills.
Right.
Some of y'all like chicken. Some of y'all like lobsters. Okay, that's what that's what we value. Something to eat.
Okay.
So yeah, we're changing all that shit too. Just like here, we're all going to have to learn how to be more vegetarians because we can no longer consume some of the shit we're consuming. It's poison, literally. It's aging us. It's messing us all up. Our bodies were designed to live forever. Why are people dying? Right? They say the elder people die of natural death. Uh, that's impossible. That's impossible. Did you know that? Our Father created us in a way where we don't die. We can't die. So what's really been killing people? Oh, the energy war. Because the pills that you're consuming decrease your energy. And when your energy is decreased, the demonic forces, the dark entities can come in you like a piranha.
Right.
This is all energy, 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 no matter how you look at it. The pills lower your vibration, lower your energy field, opens you up for all of these other attacks. Directed energy weapons. You know what it feels like. You get hit all the time, even while we're having dinner. It's all energy. It's all energy. When they hit you and you're having dinner, it's an energy weapon that somewhere someone watching hit you with. Okay? Because that's what they do. They hit you from far. They zoom in on you, right? And they hit you. Boom. That's what they do. While you're sleeping, an entity comes along and strikes you with a mallet or puts a spear in you and you die. They used to call that natural death. That's not true. No one dies a natural death. It's not possible. In fact, we were designed to we were designed to evolve into a whole new species. That's why caterpillars do it. Okay, that's what they call ascension. Because
Okay.
we the body are designed to be here, learn, to raise our vibrations, and then become higher evolved beings and automatically lift up in higher dimensions. They call that ascension. They call it all types of shit, depending on who you listen to, right? That being said, we have the abilities to live forever if you know what you're doing. And we know what we're doing, right? Which is why I'm teaching all you guys that this is what it is. The part where they say, and I've said it over and over and over again, where they say we're in the battle of, principalities and blah 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 blah. We're not in the battle of flesh and blood. That's very real because we're not. I mean, we are in some cases, like the pills and all the different gene splicing in the foods and all the baby particles in your pop sodas and all the human meat in McDonald's. All that shit lowers your vibration. Okay, so everything that they do is designed to lower our vibrations to keep them in a density where they can feed off of us indefinitely. Y'all realizing that yet? Not only that, when you do start to evolve and get into these higher realms where we're at, they'll use those voice to skull devices where I'm not worthy. Why was I picked? I shouldn't be here. Let me not do this. Let me do that. This is too hard for me. I'm just going to give up. I can't handle this shit. I need to run. I need to go. I need to do this. I need to do that. You need to stop listening to that shit and realize daddy made you for a purpose. So continue your job. This shit is getting deep, ain't it?
Totally. Yeah.
This is the stuff that I've been trying to tell y'all. Nah, scratch that. This is the stuff I've been telling y'all.
Right.
And now more and more of it is being validated. Thank daddy. Thank daddy. I'm not so crazy. I'm not so crazy after all, am I, daddy? He says, no, I'm just special.
So awesome.
But yeah, this is very, very, very exciting. And the fact that we can see it all, the fact that, just last night, 3 a.m. Sophie's she's over there moving, and then when I look over to her, she's points up, and I looked up and I said, whoosh, snatched them right up, and I said, done, done, done. She's like, and falls back to sleep. So she can see everything. She can see me as Sananda Galactic too. So it's been a real war for us, but now you guys are starting to witness it. You see, just yesterday I posted the video of the guy speaking in, I guess it was Spanish or Italian or whatever the fuck it was, and then the reptilian voice comes out, and then he's trying to, no, nigga, you busted.
That's great.
So people like myself aren't so crazy after all, because now things are being validated. We don't have to wait years no longer for the shit to be shown to you. That's the purpose of these calls, of these videos, right? And as you can see, I'm designing this room here so that I can do more of these.
Right.
Because I'm gonna be talking shit for a long time.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. It's so much. There's so much things to do. So much healing that needs to take place. I keep begging Daddy for the chambers, and I beg him for the chambers for y'all because I don't need them. I want y'all to have that experience like yesterday, because I see what's happening around me. There's people aging. And I'd like to see all of y'all healed up. So I always complain about, Daddy, can you get to the chamber right now? Huh? Can you get to the chamber right now? And then I complain about how old everybody is around me. And then he reminds me that I'm the oldest. But yeah, just this morning I requested my healing abilities to be increased. So he gave me that. We worked on the military getting this shit done. So he allowed us to do that. We're nonstop working because I don't like the outcome of certain things.
Right.
So things have to be changed. Things are being changed. And the faster we put our energy into it, minus the worrying, because you can't have change when you're in a certain state of being. If you're in a worrying state of being, that energy is off, if you would, right? So you have to literally clear yourself, let everything go, and reinforce what you want to see happen. Know within your being and feel it happening. Know it's going to happen. Walk away, start working on other stuff, and next thing you know, boom, there it is. Thank you, Daddy. 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 Remember to give thanks to Daddy because or Source, God, whatever, because he's the one that allows all this stuff to be possible, and nothing is impossible with him. Okay.
Awesome.
Very awesome. Oh, and I know y'all seeing some of the videos of the ships landing. It's happening everywhere. There's nothing the Israeli Mossad forces can do to stop all the videos. Nothing at all. And they're literally minutes away from being eliminated, and then everything gets put out there. So expect that too. All right, good. Next question.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, we got so many topics to talk about, but okay.
I know. That's why I'm setting this all up, because it's time to tell all. Let's go.
We talking all day long. It'll be 24/7. After the wealth transfer, let's say we all go out and buy a house. How do we get a Lodio title? Do we need to do anything?
No, it's going to be mandatory. That's the things that they're working on changing. Well, they've worked on change.
Yeah.
When everything's said and done, you're going to go buy your house. You're going to own it free and clear. And the Orolio Italia was mandatory. You won't even have to ask for it. And just in case your area didn't get the fucking memo, we have the documents, thanks to one of the Jedis, to prove it. So expect it, because it's happening. There's nobody on earth going to ever tell anybody else that you don't own this property, or you have to pay taxes on this property, or we're going to take it. Those days are over.
Awesome. So those that are, let's say, in like foreclosure, like right this second, or they haven't paid their mortgage or their credit card or their student loan, anything they need to be concerned about at this moment, or just sit tight?
I would sit tight and trust Daddy, ask him to take care of it, because again, nothing is impossible.
Okay, boom, big one. Okay, we've heard about this EBS for like a jillion decades. Is that on or off?
Well, it's still on. We just don't know if they're going to do a massive. You know what I want to do?
Yeah.
A massive text message broadcasting, taking over the airwaves. That's what I want to do. It's still on. They have decided on which way they want to go. Now they just need to do it, which is supposed to be happening today, tomorrow. I don't fucking know.
What's this deal about this letter Trump put out about May 8th with World War II freedom, blah, blah, blah. I read that. I'm like, what? So then I was thinking it was a way for him to say, hey, things are changing here. But what was that all about?
I haven't looked at the letter. However, things are changing. I'm sorry, I just don't waste time with stupid shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like they can say this, they can say that, and then I'll just wait for what Daddy wants me to do.
Okay. All right. So it's really irrelevant. You know, it sounds like everything is going to go swimmingly. If we get a oh my God, you guys know what I'm trying to say. Title on our homes, that is a huge thing. Okay. Because, you know, we work our whole lives, we pay our mortgage, we do all the right things, and then we can still get kicked out of our house.
Well, that's one of the reasons why the government and the fraudulent law system that we have, these British how you call it, these British boats in these buildings, right?
Right.
These British boats in these buildings, when you have to go through the doors and walk into their, dock.
Yeah.
All of that is fading away, is being neutralized as we speak, which is why a lot of them are being arrested, apprehended, executed, etc. Because for a very long time they've been a part of suppressing humanity and treating us like cattle. When you go into a court, they get paid off of your birth certificate. All of the stuff that they designed was from England, was from the Vatican, is null and void. We are all sovereign, the last time I checked. The sad part is that you have to know all these things in order to stay out of their system, which isn't right at all either, right? That should be mandatory too. Don't fucking tell us what we can and cannot do. We have unalienable rights.
Yep.
Right? So that's another thing. They don't teach these things and they enforce their laws on us, which ain't cool.
Right.
Which is why I'm here to do what I do. Change it from within or without or evaporate and all the above. It needs to be done. The people are going to experience and are experiencing freedom across the board, because a lot of you guys that had to deal with some of these court systems, they're no longer harassing you guys. A lot of you guys dealing with these foreclosures, they're no longer harassing you guys. A lot of you guys dealing with IRS is no longer harassing you guys, because y'all waking the fuck up to their bullshit.
Right, right.
And if they want to continue to enforce their man-made laws on the people, Daddy's going to continue to show his hand. And the last time I checked, his hand was King Smarty.
Awesome. So awesome. So awesome.
That's right. This is very, very awesome. Very awesome.
Yep. Okay. Had a couple questions about guardian angels. Are there any female angels, or are they all male?
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Just wanted to ask.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Okay. What are their missions? I mean, we have an entourage around us, but then there's other missions for guardian angels, and that's dependent on what like team or group they're in.
Yeah. Nowadays, certain people have armadas of angels around them, and their missions are to serve and protect and make sure you don't get in any life or death situations, and if you do, save you from them. That's what their missions are.
Okay.
Because a lot of you guys, especially those listening to this, me, you serve a huge purpose that you are unaware of. And the more and more you continue to listen to what I tell you, those purposes will be revealed to you, because that's the purpose of me doing this shit. Okay?
Hey. So that's very excellent. And so if we have an entourage of angels around us, can they just stop the attacks we get? or are they stopping the attacks? But some of the attacks still get through.
Yes, some of them still get through, but that's only because Dad wants people to realize what it is. How are you going to defend yourself if you don't know what it is?
Right, right.
Right? So you know that once you start, this is you. You know, once you start getting yourself into a worrying position, the attacks increase. And then once you elevate your thoughts and all that, they just subside and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then you can go a few days without any attacks, and then something happens where you get worried, and then boom, you get attacked. That's to teach you that you lower your vibration because of what you're experiencing or what you were told or what you're going through. They come in on you, attacking you that way. So that's teaching you, stop that shit. Stop. Raise your vibration. Know that everything is okay. Daddy's doing this for a purpose. Not everybody knows what the purpose is for, but we accept it because it's from Dad. Once you accept that, everything is back to normal.
Yep. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. And when you're in that state of enlightenment, you can make things happen. So, for instance, if something goes bad, something goes bad around me, I'd be like, that's fucked up. I want to fuck you up right now, but I'm good. I'm just gonna wrap you up with this heavy, loving light blanket, and then call it a day.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, within a couple of minutes or an hour or a day or so, that shit is resolved, and all I had to do is sprinkle that heavy, loving light.
That's true.
Salt on your ass.
I've seen that happen over and over, and actually I aspire to be more like that. Like I do get stressy.
Yeah. I mean, you see how we work. Dad tells us to do this, to do that, and then it's like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. All right, hold on, wait the fuck a minute.
Yeah, there's a lot to be done.
Yeah, and then we just, I'll just be like, ta 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 ta. Oh shit, let me do this. Ta 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 ta, and then done. And then I go sit on the fucking couch.
Awesome. Okay. Here's one. Do emergency room doctors, EMTs, know about the reptilians and the hybrids and the clones and keep quiet about it? Like, so let's say one of those creatures gets hurt and they're brought in. Do they know what they are?
They are a part of that system, so yes.
All of them?
All of them. They start off as wanting to do good.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they find out that they're not doing good. And then they stay there because of the check. And the heads of all of these companies, doctors, lawyers, whatever the fuck it is, they're all from the British Crown. All of it, no matter how you look at it. Right? They all have to be a part of the bar, no matter how you look at it. That's why they created their own laws for what's it called? Yeah, you only get to win 250,000 if we screw you up forever.
Yeah.
What? So that type of stuff showed me that holy shit, it is true. They are a part of the same gang. They know what they're doing when they put that child's birth on that birth certificate. Okay. They also know what they're doing when they take you in and mess you all up and send you to hospice, and they all know that they're getting ready to get a check off of you because you're about to die. And in fact, they schedule the birth date for you, because if one doctor schedules 3 birthdays or 5 or 10 or 20 birthdays in one day, that's a big check that motherfucker's about to get. The same way when you die, if they can schedule you to come in here and, cut you all up and do all this shit to you, they know exactly when you're going to die. In fact, they're going to do it for you. and then they're going to send you off to a meat packing facility where they turn you into a burger. So yeah, they know exactly what they're doing. And the ones that didn't want to be a part of it are, somewhere hiding or, have an NDA or whatnot and don't want to talk about the shit that they witnessed, which is why you see a lot of whistleblowers coming out about the harmful shit that they've been doing, including the ones in the grocery stores. Everybody's revealing what the fuck has been going on for hundreds of years.
Right. Right. Okay, so how about like a nurse that's they get out of nursing school, like they're 2 or 3 years in, are they still, we'll call it innocent?
Well, yeah, because they don't know the full scope of everything.
Ah,
Right? And some of them, when you get to a certain level and when you get to a certain pay grade, you literally have to perform rituals. Literally. Even back in the day when I was doing research of that and of the fraudulent court system, all attorneys had to go into this is what was said. All attorneys had, and this was also validated. So I can't say it was all attorneys, but a lot of attorneys went into a secret room and pled pled their services to Satan, Lucifer, if you would. And we do know that it's not all of them, because I know some that said they never did it and they wouldn't do it. However, they're still a part of that group, that court system that's suppressing people and doing all this type of shit. There are good attorneys out there, but if you're an attorney, that means you're still a part of their system, which is why you need to go to constitutional law and be a lawyer. Because lawyers, last time I checked, was of the land, if you would. It's been a while since I've researched any of that stuff, but the last time I checked, that's what it was like.
okay. So we might compare it to the banking system where the guys at the top are the dark guys, they're controlling everything, but the people that you deal with at the teller window, for example, they're just workers and we're going to call it innocent. They work at the bank, but they don't have evil schemes. They're just doing a job. Would you?
That's you can say that. That's accurate. It's
Yeah.
just like the entertainment system.
Yeah.
When you go up to when you can make thousands, but once you start making millions and 50 million, 100 million, that's when they get you.
Yep.
You can't make billions if you're going to be in that, if
right.
You can't make billions if you're not going to be in that thing.
Right, that club. Okay.
So we've been trying to help them. We've been trying to save them. We've been trying to do everything for some of these individuals, and it's their choice.
Yeah. Okay. It'll be interesting to see who's left standing at the end, if you know what I'm saying, like who's still around. Yeah, but I see that even on social media, there's a lot of preemptive, like you'll see a celebrity, you know that they're bad, you know what they've done, but they've got these heartwarming stories out there about them, about their charitable stuff, and a story about how hard their life was when they grew up or whatever, and I smile to myself. It's like some publicity guy is just making that stuff up so we don't believe it when we hear the story about them,
Yeah, most of the time, yes. And
yeah.
The ones that did want to do good are no longer a celebrity.
Right. Right.
They're washed up, if you would.
Yes.
Don't
Yeah.
get they don't get no airtime, no radio play, no none of that shit.
Right. Right.
What you do see happening now also is that those that are supposed to come forward are having to admit things that they normally wouldn't have admitted. So that's what they need to do if they want to survive all this shit.
Okay.
Admit to everything. Admit to everyone in the world what you've been doing, what you've been part of, and maybe, just maybe, you'll get some type of leniency from the people.
Right. Right.
Otherwise, you won't, and you'll be taken out
Right.
with the rest of the trash. Don't matter to me.
Okay.
I'm still the boss.
Okay. Okay. We've had a lot of questions about Bible stories. And what I've said is that we're going to learn it all. We're not wasting time on it, but there is a lot of curiosity. So, question about Mary Magdalene. Okay, like who was she? Was she real? Blah, 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 that kind of stuff.
Yeah, she was definitely real. Last time I checked, she was a well-known figure, kind of like a princess, if you would. And she wanted to follow me around and shit like that. That was it. She wanted to learn. She left everything just to teach. I mean, not to teach, but just to learn everything that I was teaching. A lot of the stories about her were not accurate at all. We weren't together. We didn't have children. None of that shit.
Right, right.
She did receive the teachings, and she moved on with her life.
Okay. So they've really, is she still here on earth now?
She is, but in a new body. Yes,
Okay. All right. Does she know who she is?
yes.
Ooh, okay.
Mhm.
Well, we'll be finding out more, right?
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
There's no way around any of this stuff. There's no way around that, and all of it will be revealed when it's supposed to be revealed. Which is why I always say, like, when it's time, he'll tell me more and show me more. But other than what he's already shown me, it's not really a thing. Um, if you haven't noticed, everything that I'm saying is true. It's manifesting, and um, Dad is showing his hand. He's showing everybody that he's with me. So I'm the real deal. There's no way around it. Like that's why I was telling you guys that the dates and times was incorrect. You know, the Essenes are still around. The angelics that pulled me off of the tree are still around because they were never here in flesh. The angels, right? They can come and go, teleportation. We've been doing it for thousands of years. We've been going in and out of portals for thousands of years. And the reason for me coming into this body now is to be on the earth and be a target for all of these changes because they're violating certain things when they do that. And since they can't hit me, they hit others, which also allows me to trace them and then eliminate them. That's our main mission right now is to liberate the entire planet. Once we have everything liberated, then he'll give us all of the tablets that we need to show the histories.
Oh, cool. So cool. Well, I was thinking about the old-fashioned tablets, but you're talking about the modern tablets like an iPad or whatever.
Yeah, they're glass tablets that have all the information on it.
I can't wait. I am excited about that. I should rephrase that. Can't wait. I'm excited about having one in my hands soon.
Yeah, you'll be one of the first ones to have it because of what you're involved in. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. The next question, I had 3 of these yesterday, was did the tablets that held the 10 commandments in it, were they real?
Yes, they were real, and they're the same type of tablet I'm telling you about.
Oh, they weren't like stone or anything like that?
No, in fact, that tablet is in the military base.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, how interesting is this going to be?
it's very interesting. They've been going around the world, acquiring all these different artifacts and all these different things.
Yeah.
So they have it. It's actually nearby.
Oh, how exciting is that? Okay, I've got some.
Well, like I said, last time I checked, I was the boss. So
All right. Oh,
they said, oh shit, how did he know? What do you mean, how did I know?
yeah, yeah. Wow. I had no idea it was like a modern device. In my head, it's, again, we see the movies, we see the whatever it is, they're stone or whatever, they're, you know, very primitive.
Yeah, that's sadly that's what they made everybody think. And I've told you guys over and over again, like I told you before, we've been doing this for thousands and thousands of years. So why would anybody think that a stone tablet would be the actual fucking tablet?
Who's that? Mel Brooks with that show, History of the World Part One?
Mhm.
There was
Yeah.
three of them, drops one. Okay, I don't know. We've just been programmed with that. That's great.
Oh no, the tablet falls and breaks and we lost everything.
It's so great.
This
Oh,
is it's fun, it's exciting. Everybody should be super, super excited
yeah.
because all of the things that we've been waiting for and more that we don't fucking know, or should I say,
Yep.
y'all don't fucking know, y'all
Yep.
about to find out.
Yep. So Puerto Rico, you would say, was a huge success because you went in and you established like a foundation of energy or whatever.
Yeah,
You zap some bad energy, and that's only part one of many more parts.
that's right. And I activated the base. I activated the tunnels. We re-energized the gold, and I re-energized the craft that are there. So yes.
All right. Got lots more questions coming. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I knew, I mean, obviously, we're there to help, you're there to help the people. But I knew it was bigger than that. There was a very big mission for this one.
Yeah, you know Wakanda. Well, that's Wakanda. That's when it's not Wakanda, but that's what happened.
Puerto Rico?
Yeah, that's where I was born. Hello.
I'm translating that in my mind. Yeah, yeah. And we know that the dark forces, they know what minerals are there, they know what technology is there, artifacts, whatever. That's why they take these properties over, in
Yeah,
addition to other reasons. But I did that couple of on Puerto Rico and some on Hawaii. I can see what they've done there. I can see it there. They're doing it to us. They're doing it to every country right now. And it's incrementally done, and we don't even realize it half the time.
yeah. So when you're playing a video game and you go to certain locations and you complete what you complete there, it creates a checkpoint. Meaning that's a checkpoint. We don't have to go back and redo anything. We have a checkpoint. We're moving on to other checkpoints. And every time I land on a specific piece of land, it's going to be checkpoints, and I'm going to activate things that are in the area. Um, the next thing, the next thing should be Miami. There's a hidden cave there that has tons and tons of gold that I have to um, acquire, and it belongs to me. So there's other places around the world that I have to go to in person to access these things. They wanted it. They wanted to be a part of it because that's all they know, the colonizers, right? Well, guess what? You ain't colonizing a motherfucking thing because it's over. Your best bet is to do like I'm telling you right now and over again. Stay out the way, release everything, or else. That's it.
Good advice. Good advice. All right. It seems like we're at a good breaking point for today. I mean, I've got about 4 pages of questions, but some will take longer than others. but how exciting has this been?
Well, that's why I'm setting all this stuff up. I still got to get a microphone, and I want to get a new microphone, a better camera system, and all that stuff, so that we can do these more and more often.
Yeah.
And of course, don't forget the free hollows. Go get yourself some healing if you haven't heard about them. If you're new here, they're free. And of course, supporting me and what we're doing, you can go on the website and get yourself some cool healing gadgets that actually work. Because if they didn't work, I wouldn't be doing this shit.
Right. Right. Everything is so exciting.
Yeah. Very, very exciting.
Yeah.
All right, we're good to go.
All right. Thank you for letting us know what's going on. We've all been excited about it, excited to hear it. And thank you for what you do for the earth and humanity and the universe.
Thank you as well. Thank all of you guys for being a part of this. Your thoughts and prayers, we don't pray, but your commands and all that stuff are well received, and we're moving forward. I will say this, we are still not trying, but we are still working on accomplishing the Help Someone Today campaign for Detroit. And we're working on Atlanta as well. So we're going to need everybody everywhere in those areas to either contact us or volunteer and see what you can find in the area so we can get this accomplished.
Right.
This will be another checkpoint once we accomplish these two events.
Oh, important to have done then.
Yes, very important.
Okay.
So let's rock and roll.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right. Love you guys. Be safe. Have a great day.